downs, and most recently, Julian Sayin getting key wide receiver recruits this past cycle in Jeremiah Smith and Mylan Graham. This team is constructed the right way. And I know there's a lot of people that aren't fans of Bill O'Brien. Yes, I think some people believe that he underperformed as the offensive coordinator in Tuscaloosa, but I think he's an excellent hire with a proven track record. Nino, there's a lot to unpack here. Talk to me about this roster construction and also this Bill O'Brien hire.
I don't know where to stop because, as usual, we might not see eye to eye with Bill.
Yeah, of course. But I think it's important to know that you are a New England Patriots fan. I think that has to be set out there. So you got to watch a nightmare this past season. So I think we need to put that.
Yeah,
that in perspective.
That's the frosting on the cake to where I'm going to go with Bill O'Brien because it's kind of been a little bit of a trickle-down effect with Bill O'Brien over the last 3 years. It's kind of progressively gotten a little bit worse, whether he's had the control per se in both of the last two scenarios he's been in or not, whatever it may be. But go back to 2021, okay? 13-2, averaging close to 40 points a game, 6th in the nation, right? 340 passing yards, 150 rush yards, close to 500 yards of offense, 488. Cool. That's dominant, okay? Then in 2022, 11-2, 41.1 points per game, 4th in the country. You improved, right? But how did your passing offense drop? 281 pass yards per game. Rush offense, close to 200 yards. But your overall offense went down. Now, Bill O'Brien is supposed to be an offensive guru and a QB, whatever you want, facade, right? He finds a way, right? Bryce Young in 2021. Ooh, cooking. Almost 5,000 yards, close to 66% completion percentage, 47-7 to TD INT ratio, right? Almost 9 yards per attempt. Beautiful. Heisman caliber, right? The dude.
Right.
And then in 22, we went down under 65%, right? 1,500 yards down, right? Okay, touchdowns, 15 down. Interceptions went down, but also so did the yards per attempt, which is a key thing. Now that you're in year 2 with your guy, this is your dude, right? Like, you guys should be going and advancing, getting better and better, and you're not. And it's not just the QB that I want to talk about. It's kind of like the whole offense in general. You went from having 2,000-yard receivers to the very next year, you couldn't get a guy over 700 yards.
Yeah. There's a lack of production on the outside.
Right. But all right. J-Mo and Mechie, right? I get it. They were top-tier talents.
Yeah.
Right? And Mechie obviously hasn't been able to put that on display, because he had, an illness or whatever. He's pushed through that now. But Benn and Ja'Cory Brooks aren't no slouches. Okay. You're looking at 4- and 5-star talents in Alabama now. And you couldn't get a 1,000-yard receiver? You didn't even have a tight end that was there eating away. Like, Niblick only had 400 yards, and that was this year. So Bill O'Brien had nothing to do with that dude, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't get a 1,000-yard receiver. Okay, you lost to Georgia in 21, right? And you lost in 20. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any moving on up like the Jeffersons with Bill O'Brien in the last 3 seasons, because now when you look at the last body of work, and granted, okay, I understand giving the pieces to play with in the grocery store to shop with. You went to Stop and Shop, but he told you had to get great value products. Fine. 4 and 13, 236 total points. You average less than 14 points per game, 31st in the NFL. Total yards, 30th in the NFL. First downs, 31st in the NFL. Pass yards, 28th in the NFL. Touchdowns total, 27th in the NFL. Average drive, 2 minutes and 21 seconds. 32nd in the NFL. Rush yards, 26th. And the Patriots are supposed to be known as a rushing team. 26th in rush yards and 26th in rush touchdowns. You can miss me hard left with all the Bill O'Brien is a good spot. Ohio State, he's a good he is past his time. Old country, no country, old men, however you want to do it. He should have took the Saban route. and went out, or stayed in the NFL and tried to find a cushiest position. I think he's putting the heat on his back, and I don't think he is in the prime position to take that heat.
Alrighty, so Bill O'Brien is an excellent hire. Let's just get that out the way. If you look at the talent on the national championship team that Steve Sarkisian had, especially on the outside, Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, they did not have that after they left. They did not have that after they left. Oh, it is what it is.
You still have to game plan for what you have. You didn't even get half the production.
You didn't even get half the production. He averaged 41 points a game without Jalen Waddle, without Devontae Smith.
With a run game because of Jahmyr Gibbs. Your boy Jahmyr Gibbs was what do you have, like 700 yards receiving? He almost had as many yards as your wide receivers did. What is Bill O'Brien so special about bringing to Ohio State? What is it?
Let me explain it.
Is he going to flex?
Let me break it down. One, he's a leader of men. You remember how bad that Penn State situation was with the Jerry Sandusky rape case? He led them. You talk about harsh state sanctions. I don't think there's another coach in America that could have led that team at that time period. It was a real bad experience for college football, and especially for a place such as Penn State. It was terrible, bro.
But that's 2 winning seasons
back to back. Okay. Then you look at the Houston Texans job, and you look at the Houston Texans job like, wow, he was terrible. No, he wasn't. He was terrible as a general manager. Mm-hmm. But that's, again, on the organization. There needs to be separation of church and state. Your head coach should not be your general manager. Owners own, managers manage, coaches coach, players play. That's the way it's always have been. That's the way it should have been. Yo, I seen a clip on X recently where Underwood, I don't remember his first name. You remember his first name. They were playing to watch.
Taekwon Underwood?
Yeah.
Or is it Thornton? Taekwon Thornton you talking about?
Maybe Thornton. I don't know. Somebody.
Yeah.
He was supposed, but it was when Brady was with you guys. So maybe Underwood. it was Underwood. So he was supposed to flatten out his route. You guys were playing the Washington Commanders. It was the Redskins then. He was supposed to flatten out his route. He didn't flatten out his route. Tom Brady is giving dude the business on the sideline. You know what Bill O'Brien told Tom Brady to do? STFU. You tell a great one that? STFU? You can hold people accountable. You are a leader of men. I love this Bill O'Brien hire. Granted, I know that things didn't quite work out in Tuscaloosa. They didn't get the national championship. Could it be that just Georgia just got better? Could it be that?
Could be. But everything you just said is old. Everything I talked about is the recent. And everything you see recent ain't good.
Yeah, so what offensive coordinator could have been with the Patriots this year and got the best out of the talent on that roster?
I'm not saying that. He came in there, but he knew what he was walking into. This is the shit
he did. He
knew what he was getting into.
He did.
Right?
Absolutely.
He could make it better knowing what he was going to be working with, and he didn't. And he hasn't in 2 years. Yes, Houston Texans, he was great then, right? As a head coach, cool. Sucked his general manager.
Turbo's general manager.
But everything that he was really good at is in the past. I'm talking about what he's done recently in the past 3 to 4 years. The latest body of work, and it ain't that great.
No, it's not. It's not spectacular.
And all of your points that you make are valid, true points
by any stretch of the imagination.
But Ryan Day ain't giving up the throne, dog. Bill O'Brien is good at that when he's the throne. When it all comes down to it, when it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and Bill O'Brien puts that play in, Ryan Day don't like it. It ain't getting played. That's facts.
If Sharon Moore, we can name a plethora of better coordinators in college football.
We've seen Ryan Day check people.
Yeah, he gonna be able to check Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien ain't no yes man.
It don't matter.
He's the boss. Deal with that.
He's the boss.
He is
if
the
Ryan
boss.
Day says no.
That mean he won't chit check him. Like what was the Houston Oilers head coach name? And my man Buddy Brian chit check him. Certain people are just cut from a certain cloth.
I'm just saying,
is the Bill O'Brien criticism warranted? Abso-freaking-lutely. But is he a leader of men? And with this talent on Ohio State, can he humble some of these dudes who need to be humbled? Who since Pee Wee have been told that they're the guy, and the portal has been told that they're the guy. Got teams like Iowa, effing Hawkeyes, who's contacting Kalen Proctor while he's with another team. Like, yo, it's a lot of pampering going on in college football.
Time out. There ain't no tampering there. That's called relationships. He said it straight out on an interview in the school. They checked on him when he was having trouble at Alabama and says, "Yo, make it, homie. You'll be fine." He left them high and dry. How would you be tampered? He told them, "Eat this right here," and walked away. Ain't no tampering with that, dude. Come on. If there's tampering with that, how about nobody talk about the tampering in Missouri? We're going to go that route?
Yeah.
You had a guy that was starting for Oklahoma, a 5-star with nobody in front of him, and walked away. That's more tampering than a dude who left because Nick Saban left.
It happened.
Because if Nick Saban was still there, that dude's still there.
But you
and nobody's talking about him going to Iowa.
Hey, what you and Dilfer say? I dare you to be in my player's DM. Why are they talking to him, bro? He's not on their team. Why are they talking to him?
I guarantee you there's coaches in this players' DMs and Trent Dilfer just a bag of smoke.
No. Hell yeah. It's happening all over college football, but it's going to be sanctions for that, Playboy. I guarantee you it's going to be sanctions for that. My bad, D. Now, hey, man.
You think there's going to be sanctions for Iowa? There ain't no sanctions happening. None of that's happening. No.
What?
Missouri's trying to get it.
In front of your face.
What's right? It's always a Mizzou. Like, and if that ain't getting none of that's happening, bro, there will be no sanctions until there's a commissioner, until there is something in line.
Hey, bro,
it's a wild jungle right now in college football.
And I don't blame them. Hey, Michigan. Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Michigan just won a championship and doing what the hell they needed to do. If you not cheating, you not trying.
Man.
But yeah, with the Bill O'Brien, I knew we'll be on opposite ends of the spectrum. Granted, you've seen a lot more of him as of late than I have. So hey, I trust your eyes on that. But I know what this man is capable of.
Everything you said were valid, solid points of Bill O'Brien in the past. I just think he is starting to get into that realm of guys that have not adjusted to the game, and his his scheme may be enough to have 10 wins, 9 wins, be a winning team, but I don't think his style at this time in the game can get them to a natty.
With that running back room, with the wide receiver room, with Will Howard slinging it, he averaged 41 points a game. It wasn't always pretty in Tuscaloosa. He still averaged 41 points a game.
He did.
If he does that with Ohio State, they're winning. They
averaged 41 points a game and didn't have 200 yards passing. So is Will Howard going to be a great dude? Like
and I know how you feel about Kyle McCord. And I know how you feel about Kyle McCord.
I can be biased. I'm biased. I can put that shit to the side. I like Kyle McCord.
No, the way he was treated, it was disrespectful.
I got grades here for dudes coming in.
Yeah.
So you want me to hit you with some grades?
Yeah. Talk to me about how active they've been in the portal. I knew we was gonna start the show off spicy, man. That's why you're my guy.
And this is the other thing I'm gonna say real quick. Everybody wanted to say, "Oh, their roster's all great," but they lost good dudes. It's not like they didn't lose shit, and all of a sudden, from the heavens came the gems, dude. They lost Noah Rodgers, 5-star. Julian Fleming, 4-star, right? Like, I'm sorry, but Devin Brown, you burnt your boat, bro. Go get on your dinghy and find a way to get whatever you need to do to get out of here.
That's somewhere we agree 100%, bro.
They lost Chip. I'm not saying Chip is Judkins.
Nah, but
they lost a dude, right? They lost
Chip is like that. I like Chip.
And nobody's talking about the fact they lost Jair Brown at cornerback. Right? That he is a dog. And they let that dude just go. See you later. All right. Now, Will Howard comes in.
Did we expect Denzel to come back, bro? I didn't expect Denzel Burke to come back. I thought he was out of there, bro.
No, exactly. But I don't think we thought this gentleman was coming in either in that secondary as well. But for me, Will Howard is a B+. I
would agree with that.
B+. I'll give him the B. He's like an 87. So I'll give him the B+. All right.
Yeah.
Julian Sayin's an A. Only because it's a possible B+ if Air Nolan leaves. All you did was just you went from you know what I mean? Like you went from a 91 to a 94. Like so, but if you can retain him, well, then that turns into like a 97 overall, and I'm cool with that. But if you can't retain him, then the A goes to like a B+ in my grading system for like
you know what I was wondering is Julian Sayin the first true Frosh to ever transfer to like ever hit the portal? Like.
Yeah, but it's got a big asterisk.
Yeah. It's not.
He just signed like 7 days ago, and then Saban said, "Sorry, fella, I'm out ski." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
obviously Caleb Downs is an A+.
Oh my God.
That was Christmas 7 times over, wrapped up in a bow. You open the door, there's that G5 truck wagon in the driveway with a bow on it. Judkins is an A. Could have been an A+ if Henderson didn't come back.
Right.
So,
there's some things to earn out there.
And as much as everybody wants to put McLaughlin on this big shiny trophy pedestal, I give it a B+B. He got exposed a little bit in 2 back-to-back games. Granted, most of the year he was okay, but he did have some snap problems all season with him and Milrose. So I give him a B+. So overall, yeah, they did pretty good. But they lost some stuff too. They did lose. It wasn't all, peaches and cream.
I'm gonna foreshadow a little bit here. Nino's gonna get to his top 10. I can't wait. Can we talk about that? So you guys stay tuned for that, because I know it's gonna be interesting, and I'm not so certain we're gonna see 100% out of eye on that. But moving right along, how will Oklahoma, the Sooners, and Texas fare in year 1 of SEC? It's a physical style of play, tougher schedule than in recent memory. And of course, they play each other, which make it even more difficult. I believe Texas plays Michigan this upcoming season as well. Even though Michigan is losing a lot of pieces, how do you feel they will fare in year 1?
I'm going in with a sophomore, freshman. He's going to be a freshman, but sophomore in status. Well, I'm going to go in with a junior, redshirt junior. Who's established himself in the last 2 seasons.
He surely has.
And we look at the poll. Yes, okay, we have Stutzman coming back, right? But I got a year back with Anthony Hill, and I just hit the lottery on the front, on my D-line and in my secondary in the portal alone. And I said, you know what? Alabama's Nick Saban's going, I'll steal Blackshear just for the shits and giggles, and we'll bring him in here, and he'll be a depth piece. But, I said it to you a couple weeks ago. What Texas got exposed on in that secondary was safety play. Mukumba. We went out and got Andrew Mukumba, one of the top safeties in the game, right? Guy had 143 tackles, 16 pass breakups in his career. Boom. All right, I need a little more edge rush, a little more pressure, right? Help my guys out. Trey Moore. You got Trey Moore, who led the AAU for UTSA. In 2 seasons, my man has 35.5 tackles for loss. Dumb numbers, right? With 22 sacks. That's just stupid numbers. And now you put him in Shock's defense. You put him on the side where he ain't got to beat a dude.
Right.
He's just going to beat the dude. You know what I'm saying? Offensively, pick one. Go pick one, please. Pick a goddamn weapon, right?
Yeah.
Like Bond. Gives me 80 Mitchell vibes a little bit. Maybe not to that extent, but I feel like everybody's like, oh, well, he only had less than 7.
No, I use that parallel on College Football Showdown. I'm with you 100%.
Jalen Milroe didn't become a passer really until the last 4 games of this year, where he started to develop a little bit more. I'm going to say more in the Auburn game, when he had to make that throw.
That's what happened.
So we saw some.
And Tommy Reese was developing over the season as well.
Right, and so I'm gonna go with, now you're getting Shock spread offense. You're getting Quinn in his prime right now in college, right? And you have a dude that's going to spread the field. Oh, you actually have 2 dudes who's going to spread the field all around, and they can play special teams in Bolden and Golden. It's going to be very difficult to cover every one of these guys. And then they just said, I'm going to steal Niblick. I'll steal him. Sanders is going, I'll steal Niblick here. Alabama lost 60% of their offense within 6 days of Nick Saban retiring. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the reason you go there. You know?
Right, no, right. And I get it. But I think Texas is just lined up, locked and loaded. I feel like Shock could be doing my boy Lanning's, smoking a cigar and just taking videos. And he's not, dude. He just chilling, collecting Shrine Ball Hall of Fame awards, collecting talent, and just chilling in the background. You ain't really hearing much from him. He's eating a lot of humble pie. He ain't really got it if you think about it.
Right.
I think Texas is way more in the driver's seat than Oklahoma is to have success first year.
I would have to agree with you. You know, I was not on that I was not with you with Texas at all last year.
Not many people were.
No, you were able to prove me wrong. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for him this year. So I guess so. We talked about which program is prone for greater success in year one. Now that moves me to my next question. I know you're a big believer in Texas. Can they win it all next year?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say that they gotta be. I'm not going to put a spoiler alert up for what we're going to get to at the end, but I mean, they've got to be in your top 5 heading into the year. And if you look at all the moving,
absolutely, yeah.
If you look at all the moving coaching pieces, if you look at all the transfer portal pieces and the NFL draft, you might have to just push them into the top 3. Just that alone. I think I'm going to piss off a lot of people with, I gave it 12, my top 12.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you got to look at the body at work as a whole before we even hit any kind of spring or anything. But and what we got going on this year with this new system too,
Yeah, there's definitely some pieces to uncover there. So we haven't heard much of anything of how the 12-team playoff format will be constructed with the extinction of the Pac-12. We know the original format that they had in place will not work. So do we trust the committee to put the 12 best teams from the final playoff rankings in, or should we have automatic and at-large bids similar to the proposed format? And if so, how should it work?
Well, so when I was doing my research on what they have devised for coming up right now for the 12-team playoff, it's the 6th highest ranked conference champions. It's not every conference. It's the 6th highest ranked conference champion. So, conference matter, right? So, so those matter. The top 4 teams in the ranking, they'll automatically get a bye. Okay. And then the 6 highest ranked teams out of that's left over. So you may not say like an Oklahoma for they probably wouldn't make it in this year. So if we go by look at this year, so what I looked at, it was right now Liberty would make it at 12 because of the conference champion, right? So they would have played Florida State at 5, right?
Okay.
Ole Miss would have been 11. They would have played Georgia at 6.
That'd have been a damn good game too.
Exactly. Penn State would have been 10. They would have played Ohio State at 7.
That'd have been cool too.
Right? Then you would have had Missouri at 9. I think this is an interesting matchup against Oregon at 8. Okay. And then you would have had Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Alabama would have all had byes. I would have been perfectly fine with that. I had no problem with that. And I think that would have showed you it would maybe not as much of a hush or fuss with the Florida State thing.
Right.
And we would have seen it all play out. And maybe Georgia could have ran the gauntlet and won another one. You never know. But
in that format, they certainly could have.
With that format, if that is how they're going to stick to the script, and this is when you go to their website and you read their their breakdown of it, I'm cool with every bit of that.
Okay.
Because you can't have those guys say, "Oh, Liberty, well, they were undefeated." And You're in. We put you in
top 6.
You're G5, but you put you in and let's work your way. You know what I mean?
I think we would have to assume at least 4 of the 6 of the teams after the conference winners will probably be split up between the SEC and the Big Ten. Like one can only see it that way. At least 4 of those 6 teams.
Well, it goes by ranked. So it's going to be by the AP poll. So after you get the 6 highest ranked conference champions, which they could be 1, 2, 3. Well, it'd be the first 4 off the rip got to buy. So between 4 and 4, whatever, 20, top 25, 4 and 25, it'll be the 6th highest ranked conference champion. They come out, and then it's the 6th highest ranked. So
if they can find a way to keep that format, like I said, I think the mayor and the governor would approve that message.
Yeah, check.
So let's get into your top 12 heading to the season. Granted, and we have to put this out there.
Early.
Circuit training has not started.
Yeah.
Spring camp has not started. Spring games have not started. The late window transfer portal hasn't started. And every year we get a big fish in the late window transfer portal. They did cut the days though. The overall days were down to 45, and I think it's from April 15th to April 30th. And then also we haven't seen fall camp, so this is way early.
And that window don't mean shit because people enter in transfer portal now today.
With the teams that had the
San Jose State, you had like 6 guys of San Jose State. The whole playoff teams. That was a month ago. I don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So like, that the window seems to close, but it's always cracked slightly. You know?
Yeah, it was a bunch of dominoes that caused it to really feel like it's open when it's closed, but it's just open to a handful of teams that had coaching changes.
All right,
so 12 to 1. Let's hear it.
At 12, I got LSU. I believe in Gary Newsmeyer. I believe in the talent that they got there. I believe if Brian Kelly doesn't jump ship and leave for the Michigan job, then give me LSU at 12. Okay. At 11, I got Notre Dame. Okay. I think with the addition of Leonard, I think with the addition of the wide receivers, Mitchell and the other gentleman on the outside, they've added pieces. Okay. But I'm still not truly in on Marcus Freeman. I don't know if I ever will be, but I think he's last year he had 3 cards for his flush or straight, right? He got 4 this year, and maybe in that late window or just beginning of the season, a guy we didn't see could be that 5th card, and maybe he's got a full hand, a full hand this one.
They'll be in the top 12 in the preseason AP poll. I guarantee you that.
Jed Fisher, a piece of poop, but I'm still going with Arizona at 10. Okay, I think that Brett Brennan can with Fafita, McMillan coming back. I think they sparked a fire on everybody's there behind, because you're seeing these guys that hit the portal. A lot of these guys are dropping out of the portal,
and they're headed to a wide open Big 12.
Agreed. And I don't. If you watch San Jose State, any of it, I know it's a different. I'm not saying that Pac-12. But they went out and played some bigger teams this year.
They did.
They had success running the ball. 2 guys that had close to 800+ yards running the ball this year. And the quarterback ain't that bad. He's a dual threat guy. So I think they'll be okay. Arizona, I think they could possibly take another step depending on the growth of those 2 gentlemen.
My favorite part of this past season, to be honest with you, Nino, was those previews we would do midweek. And they were G5 previews, and you were giving people jams. Hey, this is a player to watch. That is a player to watch. Like, that's always my favorite part of the season. It's so easy to talk the sport in season, but are you talking G5 players? Like, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, I agree. I like the deep dives. You know what I'm saying? 9, I got Washington. I don't like. I think Jed Fisher's scum with what he did. But he's got talent there. I mean, there's talent there. And a lot of guys that left or went to the portal. Some of them went to Alabama. Some of them came back. And he's got a ton from Arizona, whether it be tight ends, defensive guys. So he's bringing some of his guys there. There is talent in that wide receiver room still.
They were in the national championship last year.
Right.
So.
All right, but there's 3 wide receivers, a running back, 4 wide receivers because Bernard left, right? So 4 wide receivers, a quarterback, 3 quarterbacks, 2 linemen. They lost a lot,
and they're going to the Big Ten. I think by the end of the season, I don't think they'll be in the top.
I'm saying preseason rankings.
Preseason, they have to be there. Yeah,
right. At 8, and I almost had them at 7, but at 8 I got Missouri.
Okay.
At 7 I got Michigan.
They
lost a lot.
They lost an awful lot. I think that's
is Jaden Davis going to be the starter as a true freshman? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
That's not very typical of Michigan, but
it's going to be a different Michigan.
We can see, right? It's certainly going to be a different Michigan.
And that whole Michigan coaching thing is gross because it's going to be bizarre. Wants a contract to come back that says if he wants the NFL. Yeah, if he gets any more punishment, he don't have nothing to do with it. Yeah, and they're like, nah, dude. So I don't know. And if he has to, because he's under contract still. So if this doesn't work out, the NFL, he by default has to be Michigan's coach. How good of a season do you think that's gonna go?
I don't think he's coming back.
I don't think he is either. But I'm saying if by chance it doesn't work and Belichick somehow goes to the Chargers, or since we've heard this afternoon, Pete Carroll now is in. I like Mizzou making the Natty this year. That ain't a bad. That's not that much.
Especially with the format, I can dig it. I like it sure.
Like I said, Michigan 7. I got Bama at 6.
Okay, hey, I'm loving this list. Because there's a team I'm a huge believer in down in the SEC conference. You ain't said them yet, so I'm excited, bro.
I got him at 5. Ole Miss is at 5.
I'm glad they cracked your top 5. I'm telling you that Lane Kiffin ain't playing.
I said
look out.
I said to everybody, Trey Harris last year, nobody wanted to listen to me. Everybody said Zakari Frank, and I said Trey Harris. It's been Trey Harris, and they just keep. They probably have top 3 wide receiver room in the country.
Yeah.
Who they brought into the portal and who they got coming in. Avery Williams is a dude, and he didn't get much time last year, but he was a freshman. He gonna get some time this year. At 4, I got Ohio State. Okay. At 3, I got the Ducks.
Okay.
Out in Eugene.
My boy Jalen high on the Ducks. We looked at I think Bleacher Report. This is before Nick Saban announced his retirement. They had Ducks at 4, if I'm not mistaken. He loved that. He was like, they should be that high. So
all I hate hearing is anybody that's talking to Oregon, Lanning saying he ain't going anywhere for a long time.
No.
You can bring in Dante Moore, who's cool with sitting. 5-star. Already played 6 games. He's cool with sitting. I think they're doing something right over there.
And I'm a huge fan of Dylan Gabriel.
And don't sleep on if they get Jabir Muhammad from Washington in the portal. He's rumored to go to Oregon. Don't.
Really?
Evan Stewart already went there. If they get Muhammad on the other side, the DB outside, who they got? Oh boy, Julian Dickey. I don't even know if he's going to play at wide receiver this year because it's loaded everywhere, and the talent is spewing. Everywhere.
Right.
And Gatlin could possibly go. Blake Gatlin could possibly go there. Commit. He's one of the last ones in this class that hasn't committed yet. But I got my Ducks at 3.
Okay.
I got the Longhorns at 2. And yeah. Beck said I'm coming back. They went and got ETN. They went and got some dudes. Give me the Bulldogs at 1.
Beck really surprised me this year. And before Ohio State made some of the moves they made, I don't like making my announcement until about 2nd or 3rd week of fall camp. And Georgia was a rock solid pick for me. But what Ohio State has been able to do, and this is either gonna make me look like a fool or look super intelligent, I'm going with them. And I'm saying it this early. That's what I'm going with this year. But
Ohio State?
Great list. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Roster is built the right way. 100%.
I just don't know if the coaching staff is built the right way.
Huh?
I don't know if the coaching staff is built the right way.
I mean, the same way I feel about Sean McDermott, the same way I feel about Ryan Day, man. If not now, then when?
We've been saying that for 4 years.
Yeah, if not now, then when?
But who gives a shit about the 59-6 record? You can't win the big ones.
No.
And you can layer the coaching staff all you want. Hard nose, gangster, thug. Soft as baby shit at the top. What happens? Trickles.
Yeah.
Trickles.
I'm telling you. My man Billy B. he gonna bring a that's spicy.
Billy O.B.
That's spicy.
It's like that old man, right? Billy O.B. is that old man at the gym, right? That be taking up your machine, barely doing a rep, right?
He on a little Stepmaster joint.
Shorts on, and you just be like, yeah, young blood puts his knee up on the chair. Young blood, right? Dang-a-langing out, doing his thing, stanking like just old. Like, you boy, just your time's passed. You want to go do that in your own home. You want to call plays, go call that for high school back at your house in your hometown, bro. You punch that card for the very last time. Yeah. Go away.
Hey man, that is too funny, man. This is fun. This is the overreaction all season. There is no off season with CFB Nation. I think it's time for a high school show as well.
No, please don't get me started.
I think it's time, man. And you know why I think it's time? Because YouTube is friendly with Huddle, and they won't penalize you for using Huddle highlights. I think it's time for a high school show, bro.
Oh man,
hey, we got to make it happen, man. I know D-Now will be jumping out of his seat to do a high school football show. Hey man, you get the last word. Talk to him, man.
This is blast, man. I love just hopping on here and chopping up with you. We don't get to do it as often as we'd like.
Right.
And more lately. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to Senior Bowl. I'm gassed. I can't wait. 5 days. This time next week I'll be in Alabama. Try not to. I'm gonna try not to fanboy with Bo. I'm gonna try not to. Right. But
I mean, but you should.
No, I gotta be professional. I gotta be professional. You know.
I mean, but hold on, no, man. You've been talking about Bo for so long. Like people wrote Bo off after Auburn. Like I remember the Auburn days. Like people wrote him off.
They still wrote him off. I've been seeing some stuff, like different things about how they're still not trusting his game and like how he's like inaccurate, but like 74.8%. How many passes did you really miss, man? Like
I don't know.
Maybe his deep ball placement isn't the best.
Yeah, me and Jalen had this conversation that a lot of these people don't really watch body of work. Like they have. No, we were talking about who we talking. No, talking about Jaden.
I wouldn't mention those type of people. I'm talking about legit people that I.
Okay. You saying legit people. Okay,
yeah, legitimate people. But I get what they're saying. You know, and I understand where they're coming from in some aspects of it. But like, I still think that when they watch the film, you know, when you go to watch a 3D movie, they give it those blue and red glasses to make it seem better. Well, they're putting on orange and blue glasses, and when they're watching it, it's like an Auburn Tigers view,
right?
Of what they see. I'm gonna go after like week 6 of last season. There wasn't much Auburn Bo.
No,
and I just think people need to. If you can watch the film, yeah, he ain't perfect, and he ain't the best QB prospect in this class. I am by no means saying that, but to say that he's not close to being a late first, early second round pick, I think it's just blasphemy.
Yeah, that part I would never get, man. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in a sport that is survived in advance. That's why the college football regular season is the greatest there is. Until next Tuesday, man. We'll see you guys. Reaction all season.